Hi, my name is Ariana. I'm an intern with UMatter at Chico State. We're the outreach branch of the Counseling Center, and I'm here with Suicide Facts Sunday to present some topics on veterans. Military personnel go through a lot, whether it be through being exposed to combat, through possible injury, or the loss of a fellow brother. Their day-to-day lives consist of a lot, and when they finally come home as veterans, for many of them it's a happy, joyous time. They get to see their family, they get to see their loved ones. But some come home with guilt or are alone or might feel alone because of what they've seen. PTSD, also known as post-traumatic stress disorder, is a mental health problem that comes from witnessing or experiencing some sort of life-threatening event that can leave you traumatized. Symptoms include reliving the event, avoiding situations that remind you of the event, having more negative beliefs or feelings, and feeling keyed up. After going through certain things like this, it may be normal to have trouble sleeping or feeling on edge and doing normal activities, but when it extends longer than a few months and you're still having symptoms, you may have PTSD. PTSD statistics range by era and which one served, and they go from anywhere to 10 to 20% to 30%, depending on when and where a veteran served. So talking about veterans and suicide, any of the facts that I'm about to talk about came from the U.S. Department of Veteran Affairs, and it's a fact sheet that they have regarding veteran suicide and the numbers. So an average of 20 veterans die by suicide each day. And veterans accounted for 18% of all deaths by suicide among U.S. adults, while veterans only constituted 8.5% of the U.S. population. And 67% of all veteran deaths by suicide were the result of firearm injuries. The suicide rate among middle-aged and older adult veterans remains high. 65% of all veterans who died by suicide were age 50 or older. And the risk for suicide was 22% higher among veterans when compared to U.S. civilian adults. And as far as male veterans, they're 19% higher than just U.S. civilian adult men. As far as women go, female veterans are 2.5 times more at risk for suicide compared to U.S. adult women, and I want to clarify that is a 250% greater risk. Now, with all these statistics on suicide, I want to clarify ways that veterans can reach out and get help if they need it. The first step could be just reaching out for support from family members, friends, coworkers, neighbors, members of your religious group, support groups, doctors. You can use self-care by being patient with yourself. Don't feel bad if things change slowly. It takes time. Make time for hobbies that you enjoy, eat healthy, and get exercise. And if support from your friends and family and self-care are not improving thoughts or feelings of helplessness or suicide, please seek the help of a professional. The Veterans Crisis Line is there for you at all times. They have trained people there to answer the phone, talk to you through chat. They've answered nearly 3 million calls and have initiated dispatch for emergency services nearly 82,000 times. They're completely there to help, and they have the resources and the guidance that you might need. If a veteran you know might need some help, this is just some advice that you can use to help them out. You can learn as much as you can about PTSD. You can offer to go to doctor's visits with them. You can tell them that you're there for them to listen, whether or not they feel like talking, just to know that you're there. You can plan activities together, do any type of physical activity, and just encourage them to stay in contact with family and close friends. Veterans go through a lot of loss, but knowing that you're there for them, whether or not, they want to talk, because withdrawal is a symptom of PTSD, but knowing that you're there regardless can just be a really, really great help to them while they need you. And to just get personal for a second, I wanted to talk about military contractors. My dad has been a contractor for the last 8 years, and there's not a lot of statistics on what being a military contractor can do for mental health, depression, or PTSD. There's this RAND study that has a few notes about that, and I can include a link in the description so you can take a look at it. I made this pie chart, to describe the time that my dad has spent away versus home. That little 8% right there is the amount of time that I've seen him in the last 8 years. And I can only imagine what that would do to him being away from home and how his adjustments might change when he gets back. So if you're a veteran, contractor, current service member, or the family of any of those three, I just want to remind you that life is tough, and so are you. And no matter what, to remember that you're not alone. You can always go to afsp.org, the American Foundation for Suicide Prevention, to get more information. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our YouTube channel. We also have Facebook, Instagram, and more. And we will see you again tomorrow.